2005 Toyota Sienna motor mount job. 4 motor mounts. Block of wood on transmission pan. One of the nuts was seized up. I sawed it with a hacksaw blade a wee bit, then gripped it with some vice grips. Notice how I gripped it, and then I whacked it with a hammer to develop a crack where I'd cut it on both sides for a partial depth cut, and I didn't need to continue to cut it because of that ability to crack it off. There are 3 nuts and bolts holding the center front motor mount in place. There's one. There you go, the bolt is there, the nut's already been taken off. This hole is covered by a plastic cover that you can get loose with a screwdriver. The 3rd nut remains to be removed. I still need to remove it. I'm letting it soak. Hopefully it won't seize up like that other one did. Here is the driver's side motor mount. It's the new one I put in. I loosened all 4 motor mounts, and I guess this was the transmission mount, which is not necessarily a great idea because now the engine shifted about a 1/2 inch. I have to get it back in position somehow. So the moral of that story is possibly loosen, this motor mount and the center motor mount, but then leave the passenger side motor mount, at least the 3 screws in the base, somewhat tight, and then maybe you can loosen the top of the passenger side motor mount. Alright, let's go see where I've taken the battery out. So I took the battery out to gain access. I also loosened this plate. I had two 10mm bolts, which I have placed up here. It had a plastic air carrying tube which mounts to the front of the car. You have to total of 3 bolts you have to take out. I put them back in for storage so I know where they are when I need them. So this piece came out and this piece came out. And I probably should take this air box off. Now notice as the engine is being raised, these things do separate. I'll have to put them back on or loosen them beforehand. However, this particular bolt was giving me some trouble. I think it's rusted in there somehow. Alright, so that gave me the ability for my jack handle. Let me pump it with my foot. And you can see it lets you raise your transmission. Alright, that didn't sound too good. Alright, let's see if I have freedom enough to jiggle around with my motor mount here, and it's not as high as it was before, that's for sure. But let's see if I... Well, that is the new one. It's in place. I was able to jack it all the way up, and again, if you leave the passenger motor mount possibly tied down, you know, leave it tight down the bottom, but perhaps loosen the top maybe a 1/4 inch on the other side. This is the driver's side, but I'm talking about the other side, to keep the engine in position. Might be a good idea, because as I am now, okay, well, anyhow, I was able to get this new motor mount in place, but by a little bit of jacking there, it's not high enough to pull it back out to demonstrate there's adequate space. Well, let's check the center mount. And here's the new ones. They did not come with nuts. I'm just putting them there to store, so it kind of keeps track of all these, keeps some order in this madhouse. Let's take a look at that center one. Well, there you can see it is somewhat shifted. Let's see if I can't jack it up a wee bit. Let me check what's going on here. So here's where I took out the old dog bone. So I suppose it goes like that. It's got 14 millimeter long bolts and 14 millimeter longer bolts. A welded nut on there and a welded nut underneath there. So you just don't need to worry about it. Just take them out. I put them back into place here so I don't lose them. Again, it might be a good idea to leave that in position, not take it out as I have. Leave the old one in there. There's lots of rubber there to flex, all in the interest of keeping your engine from shifting too much. Once you get all your mounts off, things can start floating around. Alright, let's see what I did to the motor mount over here. Well, I did take that off, but it's sitting flat. Now underneath, did they shift a lot? Possibly, but not really. I'm gonna go take a peek underneath. And I'm going blind. I'm doing this without being able to see what I'm doing. Perhaps I'll catch the 3 mounting bolts and nuts. Alright, I'll have to see if that did any good. Yeah, raise your engine up with the jack. I'll probably get over here and raise the oil pan side of things. Well, what the heck? Let me get that engine jacked up to see if I can see what's going on. Alright, so I raised it up a little bit there. Okay, I just saw this air box move. So close. Give it another pump.
Hey, is this Lauren up here?
Who?
Lauren?
Oh, she's in the next house over there.
Oh,
with the white car.
Yeah, okay. I didn't know. Usually my driveway's the same, but then like this would be my house.
Oh.
No, I'm saying not my house, but you know.
Yeah.
That's how my drive. She's in the house over there.
See our house is here. She's the one next to us with the white car in the driveway.
Yeah.
That's Lauren's house.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Do I have my engine mount free? We do. Freedom. Again, this bolt does come out, so you may not need to jack this car up so high, but I did, and I got my new engine mount in there. So this is the transmission mount. And when I put it in, I'm going to have a helper, or I'm going to have to lower and move, to get that up in there. Once again. Alright, so this proves that the average Joe can do his motor mounts, which I did because I had to shake 45 to 50 miles per hour to get this vibration that shook the car, maybe at 10 hertz. Alright, I won't bore you no longer. Best wishes in your motor mount job.